MotorWeek is made possible by Tire Rack.
As promised, next is one of a special breed of automotion, a definite exotic. Now, exotics are cars that usually have yearly production runs of no more than a few hundred to a couple of thousand. They have hand-worked bodies and interiors, high-output engines and performance, and naturally a rarefied price. Now, most exotics also come from Europe, but not this time, because our first exotic is this Avanti, the oldest and to a lot of people the only true American exotic. Why, they're still made in the original Studebaker plant in South Bend, Indiana. And even at its advanced years of 22, it's a machine that's constantly coming of age.
When famous industrial designer Raymond Loewy penned the original Avanti for the failing Studebaker Corporation back in 1962, I doubt even he realized what a timeless design it would become. But here it is, some 22 model years later, and the Avanti's basic graceful shape, style, and beauty is not only preserved, but vastly enhanced. After the company died, a South Bend Studebaker dealer named Nathan Altman bought all rights to the Avanti. From the time production restarted in 1965, constant updates kept the Avanti running gear up with the times. But it wasn't until Stephen H. Blake purchased the firm in 1982 that the long-term survival of the Avanti became a sure thing. One of the first results of Blake's new investment was yet another thorough updating. General Motors had always been the source of post-Studebaker Avanti drivetrains, and Blake got a generous supply of Chevy 190 horsepower L69 5-liter V8s, the ones that made the 1984 Camaro Z28s so hot to trot. Transmissions were also updated with either a 4-speed overdrive automatic or 5-speed manual. The flawless fiberglass body now sprouts rectangular headlights and a set of new composite bumpers that blend with the classic Avanti shape. Inside, the traditional wood-tone veneer that's so popular with Avanti's mostly older clientele remains, but you can substitute brushed ebony inserts and exterior trim with the more youth-oriented Touring Coupe package. A leather and cloth interior and superb Recaro sport seats are standard, with full leather and this classic Narty wood rim steering wheel among the few options available. The vintage Avanti instrument cluster is retained with all its clarity and simplicity, as are the chrome console ventilation controls that resemble throttle handles on a 747. The overhead switch panel that caused quite a stir in the 60s is still there, and it's still unusual. Like everything else in the Avanti, the rear seat is covered in exquisite fabrics, and I doubt any occasional passengers will complain about such ordinary concerns as thin legroom. Compared to other megabuck cars, the trunk in the Avanti is well above average in size. It also looks better appointed than most posh hotel suites. Exterior fashions that were also extra on our test car included a power moonroof, and honest-to-goodness wire wheels, and Eagle GT tires. But even with its equally exotic $33,000 base price, actually modest by exotic standards, can the new Avanti really put its renewed thoroughbred fashion to proper use? Well, yes, no, and maybe. Yes, the Touring Coupe's low-resistant exhaust definitely sounds more Detroit than Turin. Power reaches the pavement smartly with just enough wheel chirp for a little adrenaline stimulation. The Chevy V8 is smooth and strong. Despite a weight of almost 2 tons, it delivered this automatic Avanti across the quarter-mile post at a fairly quick 17.2 seconds and 77 miles per hour. 0 to 60 is mastered in 9 seconds flat. The no in the Avanti performance relates to its chassis. It's still the heavy X-frame Avanti original, with unequal A-arms and coil springs up front and a rigid axle on leaf springs at the rear. Our car had all of the Touring Coupe suspension parts. And to be fair, it didn't react badly given the age of the design. The larger tires in the rear help, as do the fatter anti-sway bars and faster ball-type steering. Flat in turns with the tail harder to swing the wrong way around curves, the suspension response is much improved over the standard setup. But owner Blake knows it will take a new chassis to complete this part of his renovation of the Avanti image, and we're glad to hear that one is due soon. Maybe that will also take care of the minor shortcomings in the Avanti brakes. While now disc drum, we wonder if an all-disc system can't be far behind. But even as is, braking results were very good. Distances averaged a scant 115 feet from 55 with no pull nor fade. Only a mushy pedal and high leg effort gave any clue that the system is not totally up to date. But all the new Avanti alterations, including this new convertible version, make it clear that this long and successful design still has a remarkable future. And with a little luck, the Avanti might just go on forever.
Well, we can't go on forever, but we will be back for the next edition of MotorWeek. We'll see you then.